Nadi Ubhayato Vaham. There is a nadi or a river which is Ubhayato, which is flowing Vaham, which is flowing in both directions. And then Panchadhutam Griham. And there is a house which is made up of 25 elements. And Kvachit Hansam Chitrakatham. So this is the 8th clue, that there is a Hansa Chitrakatham. There is a swan whose story is very wonderful. Katham means story. Chitra means wonderful. Whose story is very wonderful. And then Shaurabhavyam Swayam Bhami. Shaurabhavyam means that which is made up of sharp razors and thunderbolts, which is Swayam Bhami, which means it's revolving. And then the 10th one is that your father is omniscient and you do not know the actual order of your father and the actual purpose of your father. So how are you going to execute his order if you don't know the actual order? So these are the 10 clues that. So the next word is spoken by Shukadeva Goswami, who is expressing how Haryashvas are processing these words. And this is the clue for our effective hearing. He is saying that Tan Nishamyat Haryashva Atpattika Manishaya Vajata Kutam Tu Devarshane Swayam Vimarshru Dhiya. So here 3 words I would like you to pay attention to. One is Kutam. Kutam means it's a puzzle, no doubt about it. The second is Nishamya. Nishamya means hearing. So they are hearing and processing, contemplating. So they are not just hearing something and forgetting. They are contemplating. Nishamya. And then following Nishamya, there is Vimamshru. Vimamshru. Vimamshru means to reflect upon. So they are not just simply hearing, they are hearing attentively, then contemplating and reflecting upon. They are trying to assimilate the instructions. So hearing these enigmatic words of Narada Muni, the Haryashvas considered them with their natural intelligence without help from others. That's how Srila Prabhupada is translated. So this is an important element of hearing with apprehension. And this is how Haryashvas understood the meaning of each and everything. So let's ask you, what do you think is the first clue? What is the first clue? Let's see if we can decipher. What is the first clue? We have not seen the end of the who, of the earth. So what is earth representing here? So earth here is representing, so this is how Haryashvas are processing. Earth here is representing the field of activities. The material body, which is a result of the living being's actions, is his field of activities. And it gives him false designations. Since time immemorial, it has received various kinds of material bodies, which are the roots of bondage to the material world. If one foolishly engages in temporary fruitive activities and does not look towards cessation of this bondage, what will be the benefit of his actions? There is a common refrain in throughout their contemplation, which is Kim Asat Karma Vir Bhavet. At the end of every verse, this is the rhyme. Kim Asat Karma. Asat Karma means fruitive activities, or worldly activities, or where Krishna is not there in the center. Kim Asat Karma Vir Bhavet. Why should I act in a fruitive way? Why should I take part in a fruitive activities? That's the bottom line that they are reaching out of each and every clue that they have received from Narada Muni. The first clue that he is processing is earth is representing the field of activities, and there is no end to it as long as we are involved in the complexities of the actions and reactions associated with it. Then the second clue. What is the second clue?
There is only one king.
There is only one king. So Haryashva realized the purport of this statement as follows. Since we do not have much time, I'll just read. The only enjoyer is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This probably was an easier clue now that we understood the track in which they are thinking. So the only enjoyer, because there is a kingdom presided over by only one male. It's Krishna. There is the only enjoyer is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they are reaching the conclusion of Bhoktaram Yakitavasam Sarva Loka Maheshwara. That's the conclusion that they are reaching. Who observes everything, everywhere. Mayadhyakshana Prakriti, Surya Sacharachara. They are deriving all these messages from just this one phrase. He is full of six opulences and fully independent of everyone else. And therefore, he is only one male because he is like, nobody is like him. There is a cut of Krishna that says, Eko Bahunam Yog Vidadhati Kamar. How does it start? Nitya Nityanam Chetnas Chetnana Eko Bahunam Yog Vidadhati Kamar. That out of many eternals, there is one eternal who is very special. Out of many Chetnas or many sentient beings, there is one sentient being who is very special. How special he is? Eko Bahunam Yog Vidadhati Kamar, who is fulfilling the requirements or necessities of everyone else. So he is very special. So we are not one with God. We cannot be, because we are constitutionally different. There is Eko Bahunam. That distinction is always made. So he is never subjected to the three modes of material nature, but he is always transcendent to this material creation. If the members of human society do not understand him, the Supreme, through their advancement in knowledge and activities, but simply work very hard like cats and dogs all day and night for temporary happiness, what will be the benefit of their activities? So if they do not recognize Krishna's position as Bhoktaram Yajnaprasam, the one male, the one person who is the controller, who is the enjoyer, who is the supreme controller, the supreme enjoyer, the supreme master, we would be involved in fruitive activities. Okay. Next one, fall. So there is one pole from which having entered one does not return. So this pole is can be described in two ways. It can be described as lowest place or the highest place. If you go to the lowest place, it's difficult to come out. Go to the highest place, it's also difficult to come out. So Hariharsh was understood this meaning in this way. Hardly once has a person who has entered the lower planetary system called Patal been seen to return. Similarly, if one enters the Vaikuntha Dham or Pratyak Dham, he does not return to this material world. If there is such a place from which, having gone, but does not return to the miserable material condition of life, what is the use of jumping like monkeys in the temporary material world and not seeing or understanding that place? What will be the profit? So, Kim Asat Dharmavir Knowledge, that's the conclusion he is reaching. Because there is spiritual world where one can go and eternally live there, and one does not have to suffer in this material world. Why not go there? Then, next, there is a woman who is a professional prostitute who is coming in different varieties of dresses. Who do you think this woman is? Any guess? This prostitute?
Maya.
Not close. It's actually unsteady intelligence. Interestingly, if you study the Srimad Bhagavatam, you will see intelligence. How is intelligence created? It's the transformation of false ego in the mode of passion. And the mind is created, the transformation of false ego in goodness. One may think it's other way around. Because intelligence is generally considered to be higher than the mind. Right? Indrani parani ahu, indriyabhya param manaha, manasastu para buddhi. Buddhi is considered to be higher than the mind. So, how the intelligence comes into being is as like false ego mixing with the mode of passion. So therefore, here unsteady intelligence comes into being. It's a way to exercise our creativity. So mixed with the mode of passion, the unsteady intelligence of every living entity is like a prostitute who changes dresses just to attract one's attention. If one fully engages in temporary fruitive activities, not understanding how this is taking place, what does he actually gain? So what is the specific Bhagavad Gita reference for this? Vyavasayika buddhi ekeha gurunatana. Bahushaka yanantasha buddhayo avyavasayina. Those who are avyavasayina, or those whose intelligence are many branched, splayed out in different places, unsteady, they would not be able to focus on the ultimate goal of life. So therefore, the attention is drawn to Vyavasayika buddhi. Otherwise, one would be absorbed in fruitive activities. Then the next two is husband of a prostitute. So that's us. When one becomes the husband of a prostitute, he loses all independence. Similarly, if a living entity has polluted intelligence, he prolongs his materialistic life. Frustrated by material nature, he must follow the movements of the intelligence, which brings various conditions of happiness and distress. If one performs spiritual activities under such conditions, what will be available? Now, interesting, I just want to, since I mentioned about this false ego transformation, the transformation of false ego in the mode of passion. One interesting thing is that we are talking about material intelligence here. How does material intelligence work? Material intelligence actually works subordinate to the material mind. It works under the command of the mind, salutes the mind. Tell me mind, what do you want me to do? I just follow your command. Because intelligence, the role of the intelligence is to plan. Plan according to the different states the mind gets into. The two states are sankalpa and vikalpa. Accepting something, rejecting something. So all the time, like the mind is just going through this accepting and rejecting modes, and it's just creating the different goals for itself, material goals for itself. And let intelligence chase that goal, or let intelligence plan out that goal, or plan to pursue that goal. So you can see, so why like the false ego in transformation with passion is described in intelligence, because it is material intelligence, which is acting subordinate to the mind. So it's an important, and this is, I don't want to speculate too much, but this is my understanding. And because like when Krishna is describing who we are, so there is soul proper, and then there is spiritual body, and the spiritual body has got spiritual mind, spiritual intelligence, and there is spiritual ego, which is understanding that Krishna is my master. So, in the spiritual covering, or you can say, when we have that spiritual body, then intelligence acts higher than the mind. But when we are covered by the material components, which is the material mind, intelligence, and false ego, then it's like a perverted reflection of the original reality, and mind is just the commander-in-chief then. Okay, so this is what we learned. So husband of the prostitute is us who have lost all our independence. In other words, we have sold our independence to the polluted intelligence, who is just defining the materialistic life for us. Then the next clue is river flowing in both directions. So what does it mean, river flowing in both directions? So they understood as material nature having two ways of functioning, creation and dissolution. So it's like a river, which is like flowing in both the directions, sometimes creating, sometimes getting destroyed, creating, destroying. Thus, the river of material nature flows both ways. A living entity who unknowingly falls in this river is submerged in its waves, and since the current is swifter near the banks of the river, he is unable to get out. What will be the benefit of performing creative activities in that river of mind? So understand that where we stand, we are in the current of material energy, which is just bringing the periodic cycles of this creation and destruction. So there is no point in remaining entrapped within that cycle, but like try to take, try to grab the opportunities that are provided in our life to go higher to a transcendental being. Then the next one is, this one is easy, a house made of 25 elements. Now you could have guessed. The house is basically this house, this material world, made of 25 elements. What are the 25 elements? So 5 material elements. The 5 material elements being